eventually they are going to be able to grab that Orianna. And APA, likely just playing the same matchup he actually played yesterday against Faker, did play this Syndra, looked very comfortable in lane against it, was pretty active on the map as well, multiple times, teeping up towards top side to actually cover Summit on these dives. And it's so interesting, watching TL, and I think APA deserves a lot of credit for how well he actually coordinates with the teams, because it's really funny in the LCS because there's so much talk about how this team largely communicates in Korean. I remember after one of their series, we were actually asking, so APA, why did you pick this year? What was it that you actually happening that made you want to play this in draft? And he said, they didn't even tell me. They just were talking in Korean, and then my champion got locked in. And he's like, oh, I guess this is what I'm playing. So he sometimes is that man, off on his own because of the communication barrier.
Yep.
But he coordinates very well with the team, and him and Pioshik have become, quite the dynamic duo. So I think he definitely is deserving of credit for how adaptable he's been in what sounds like a pretty difficult situation.
And to be fair, when you have Pioshik, when you have Summit, when you have Core JJ on your team, I completely understand that. So again, running with the flow a bit here, as we're also running through champ select quite big. Look at the power picks on the side of NRG. We have the Orianna, we have the Jax, we have the Sejuani. Powerful solo lanes in the making here for NRG to build up.
APA hovering a couple of Palafox's champions, and while I don't think we got to see it yesterday from APA, this guy is an all-chat demon. He is trash-talking in all-chat in the LCS every single game.
Right.
So it will be funny to see if he's going to be right back to his antics. If junglers come in, he's like, oh, you need your jungler. He's all-chatting all game long. He's trash-talking, he's emoting. He really is a confident guy, a confident player. And I think that both of these teams should absolutely be in their comfort zone because they're so familiar. When you look across the stage, whether you want to admit it or not, it just feels different when you look over and you see a Knight or you see a Faker versus the players that you play against week in, week out. So I'm expecting NRG especially to look more comfortable than they did yesterday.
We got no look at NRG yesterday. It wasn't the NRG we saw in the regular season. I know we'll break this down going into game, but it just really feels like this could be the proper first look.
Yeah.
Maybe at both LCS teams to full fruition, as TL was only the early game yesterday anyway. Just quick touch up. Kai'Sa's going to be taken away, something that doesn't really make it to the second ban phase. But this time away, it's going to be taken with the Kalista priority sunk in for TL.
Yeah, absolutely. So Yon going to be going back to that Kalista. We saw the FBI played it yesterday. Yon is really one of our versatile ADs in the LCS. He's one of the guys that will bring out things like Draven, like Kalista. He'll also play the late game scaling stuff. So he is really a flexible player. Improved massively from spring to summer. Core as well, for as much as this guy is someone with an immaculate reputation, had not really been playing nearly as well these last couple of years in the LCS, and I think he's coming off of what is his best split in years in the LCS. So these guys, really are looking to show their stuff on the international level. They had a really rough start to the game yesterday against T1. Yon had to blow his flash almost instantly, and he was very far down in that game. So I don't think Yon really felt like he got to get going, and I'm sure that against FBI, he wants to prove himself.
Especially when both bot laners got hammered yesterday as well on that note. FBI Igna weren't able to play the game with the Kalista Alistar. As we are still focusing on that bottom side, it was the Xayah ban from TL to round it out. The Renata as well taken by NRG. We're just wondering what support comes through because, as they're talking about on the desk, Alistar has risen up. It has just been one of the main engages. Rakan also up and available. Anything you want to add in for Spice?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rakan is generally really highly contested in the LCS, especially if you're playing against Ignar and the team needs engage, because Ignar is one of those guys that really favors the pick. Core, I tend to think, yes, he can play enchanters really well. I mean, the man won a world championship playing enchanters, but for TL, they just look different when he's playing engage. He being that go button for the team, I think is so incredibly pivotal. So, I am expecting them to go towards those engage type picks, but at the same time, with them looking for fifth pick counter pick here, maybe they have a little bit of a different read. Maybe they're going to pick more heavily for lane. We could see something like a ranged champion. That's why we're getting that Renata banned out. Be picked in, and Senna's going to get locked. So do we actually have a farming TK or something along those lines? I think there's a lot of pairings that you can do with it. Senna TK, by far the most popular, and Senna, I think, is actually really strong right now, so this is cool.
It really is. Again, Senna Tom, Senna Neela's been hyped up pre-tournament. Glad to see a little bit of it here as Core waited for this. It's R5 support counter pick when he's pivotal to the team. When you talk about his engage being a priority, what rounds this out perfectly? I
mean, the Blitzcrank would be spicy. The Rel feels a lot more likely.
Okay.
But, the Blitzcrank would be more of that lane counter. I think the Rel is a lot easier to play in the 5v5s, has that AoE CC. That is something that you really do need when you're playing against Blitzcrank. If you just have single target pick, Tom Kench is so powerful against that. You know, when Syndra is looking to 100-0 someone, when Viego is looking to dive in and 100-0 someone, the Tom Kench can just say no. So I am really curious to see what Yon and Core can get done in that bot lane, because without a ranged support, I do think it's difficult to actually really bully that TK. And if FBI is on point with his Qs, you know, both hitting Ignar with the heal as well as poking out Yon and Core, you're actually a pretty difficult lane to push out. And if this lane can be stable, the scaling over on the NRG side, I think, is incredible. They can play through sides with Dokla. You have the Senna ultimate to help for that cross map as well. You have safety for the Senna and the Orianna here with the Tom Kench. You have good engage with contracts on the Sejuani. So they're definitely looking for, you know, maybe 1-4 or even 5v5, but heavy scaling. There's way more pressure, I feel, on TL to get ahead of the pace of the game, because when you're looking at Viego, you need to be getting those kills. You need to be getting that resets. Similar can be said here for Yon and the Kalista, and even APA playing the Syndra.
But I think for TL, at least it hits that condition of what we talked a lot about yesterday, right? Pyosik was the early game. It was the Lee Sin that really threatened T1. A lot of NA fans were getting their hopes up. I was sitting in the back room going, hey, this could really to that side of the thing.
Well, his flowers will tell you.
Will that offend him? I mean, or does he just live up to it?
No. He's like, well, actually, you probably do have the Skarner mechanics. That's the whole point of playing Skarner, is it has no mechanics.
Really?
His flowers will tell you.
Will that offend him? I mean, or does he just live up to it?
No. He's like, I press Q. That's about it. But no, it is great to be here with you, man. Definitely a big LPL fan myself. Big fan of your casting. And happy to be here with you to kick off day 2 of the Swiss stage of Worlds. This should be a fun one.
It should be, considering that, again, it was NRG who had TL's number.
Yeah.
Coming through, 3-2 in the lower bracket finals, 3-1 in round 1 of playoffs as well.
Yes, sir.
And I know you backstage were really high on Palafox versus APA, where that felt like a deciding fact to push NRG into the unexpected finals position.
It absolutely was, but like Kobe was talking about on the desk, and everyone on the desk was talking about, it is a different meta now, right? So, you know, is this meta going to be one in which Palafox can kind of enforce his will on APA as much? That's what we have to really find out here. As expected, it is the fasting Senna. It is going to be the farming TK.
Yep.
You know, no big surprise there, but obviously confirmed by the Spectral Sickle. And it's going to be a really interesting one. I think so much additional pressure is felt by the teams in the 0-1 matches, knowing that D+ or KT is going to be in the 0-2 match. And you do not want to go down there, because if you draw that team, it's probably see you later, have a nice flight home.
That's right. Even though, you know, you go to best of 3s, it's so rough again to go against one of those behemoths that are also quite unpredictable. So important matchup here for TL and NRG. As that bottom lane, as you're walking us through a little bit in the draft, you said it feels hard to push in this time. It feels hard to deal with this 2v2 from what TL have offered. But here in the level 1 already, at least there are some good trades, as you can speak about that in the top side as well. Dokla and Summit bashing each other for a little bit, and Summit send packing.
Yeah, good job there by Dokla. Nice early trades. Gets the faster level 2, and Summit a little bit disrespectful there, taking a lot of damage. But at the same time, you know, talking about that bot lane, for me, you know, it's less can they, you know, get the push. I do think that Kalista can get the push. It's more, is APA's in trouble here potentially.
Out of the week's going to get him away. Palafox has the summoners available. He flushes for an autos. And first blood to Palafox to kick a chat in the mid lane returns.
Palafaker showing up here to Worlds. Solo kill on Orianna at level 3 is not what you want to see.
Apologies for the delay. We sorted that out as TL getting bullied in this top lane too. The biggest takeaway so far is that NRG through the early game. I'm getting the vibes that I had through watching LCS playoffs. Azale, you know, this powerhouse of a team, the individual presence as well. And starting off with a solo kill on Orianna in this matchup, pre-6 is amazing.
Absolutely, and it kind of feels like right back to the LCS playoffs where such a difference maker for the team was Palafox. But you can see Core, you can see Pyosik hovering around mid lane, wanting to punish Palafox, who has a wave in a really awkward spot. This wave is pushing away from him. That's why he's hugging the top side where it is warded. He doesn't have a ward over by his Raptor, so if Core steps out of that brush, he's going to be spotted. But Pyosik, he knows he could be down there, and that's why he's so heavily playing towards top side and will just retreat out to Core's contracts.
Really smooth stuff from Palafox. Scuttle taken before Pyosik can do anything about it as well, but they're waiting. He peeks his head into the brush contracts, unable to get that Arctic Assault connect. Well, this is some patience, to say one thing.
Either that or he's gone for a quick bathroom break because he's been in there for a while.
And he's still there. You can see on the mini-map while Contracts is going straight to the top side. Summit has the flash veil, but it's matched here. Permafrost is out. And even though Summit gets out of there, Dokla's in. The big man in charge gets one of his own too.
Big Dokes in the top lane showing up here to Worlds, getting the kill onto Summit. Nicely done. Him and Contracts working well together. Core
really
is still there.
All right, now he's moving.
Man, he is clearly really feeling the pressure to get something done around mid lane. But it also speaks to the fact that he doesn't feel he can pressure bot lane at all. Like, clearly he feels, hey, I'm not going to get anything done. They're not going to be able to kill off Yon, so me sitting bot lane doesn't do anything. So while people will meme this, if you don't think you can accomplish anything bot, you're trying to wait to punish this flash of Soriana. That's really what he was going for there. And unfortunately got nothing done. And now Pyosik going to be spotted out by a great lane ward here from Dokla.
I want to touch on that again because, look, as that ward spots him out, I mean, the rest of the map is so chaotic right now as well, so you can understand further as to why Core J continues to move. Dokla's going to get tagged out that ward. It's a bit of a bait right now, but you see, Contracts is nowhere nearby, so Dokla, he can try and bait him in and waste his time, but he can't overstep.
Exactly. Dokla's trying to really walk that line, and so Pyosik now will go back. Dokla hasn't spent his teleport. That is the big difference maker here.
Yep.
And that is why Summit is going to try to pull the wave, going to try to hold it. We'll understand now that there was a word in that brush as the minion aggro did fall them, and we can watch this replay one more time. APA was trying so heavily to push in the wave. The wave was pushing away from him, but Palafox is basically just harassing APA every time he steps forward to actually push in that wave. He got the extra level, he's able to punish, and then this was just a nice move up towards top. Sejuani plus melee pairings, we know all about them. Great flash for the second part of the W there from Contracts. That means the passive is stacked and we're back to bot.
And he's now down here. I mean, 3 versus 2, but Core JJ and Yon, they're just fine. They walk it out, half HP. The trade is going to be the cleanse coming through from this Kalista, while NRG have a wave to push in. But again, Contracts, what an early game presence. We didn't get to see any of it yesterday against Wave, but we all know why. But it is really nice to see, again, as you were talking about, that domestic rivalry, the best of these teams, because they are playing against rivals that they know and love.
Absolutely, and he's still just hanging around here on bot side, going to be spotted by the Sentinel there from Yon, but Yon without cleanse is going to have to be careful, and we can see Palafox now at 6, APA at 6 as well. And we see in these matchups so many, I was just going to call it out, the harass shockwaves, just get that chunk, get that push. APA is going to have his TP back relatively soon, but Palafox just looking to continually dominate in this matchup.
And again, there's just so much priority there. That push in is Pyosik still trying to get out on the map. He's now down bottom side, not spotted out, but hard again when you consider what FBI and Ignar are running to the table. And as you're talking about APA, just a quick touch on mid, with that teleport coming so soon, he's still just trying to time it so that Palafox can't get the push in, can't get that free plate, and lose out even more.
And the matchup is, a lot more even than it otherwise would have been because of all the help that APA was getting. Core was sitting around mid, Pyosik was sitting around mid. The wave was pushing away from Palafox, so he couldn't actually farm a lot of those minions, and that's why he's down 12 CS here. So yes, he did get that kill, but there is the CS advantage for APA, so he's not as far behind as he otherwise would be. You have the Lost Chapter for APA, and it just boots in a Negatron for Palafox, so it's actually the better buy rate now for APA. So until Palafox can reset one more time, we'll see.
All out there, though. Let's pause for a second. Summit looks for the chase down. Pyosik is going to help out with this one as well. The Viego needs a kill to start snowballing this game, and with level 6, let's Heartbreak straight away, or at least wait for Dokla to get out of there. He looks for the 1v2. Jungler intervention coming in as Contracts, wants to make it even footing. But Summit, with no flip back and then the Tofo strikes, will just back off as NRG try to make it spicy.
Well played there by Dokla. Really calm stuff from him. Didn't panic, played it out slow, knew he had the help coming in from Contracts, and now they get the HP advantage. Summit has no ulti, so they're just going to start up the Herald here. You can see the push there is in mid for Palafox as well. APA is basing. He could TP up here if they want to try to make something happen, but Pyosik looking for a little bit of dance moves.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, again, make it a little bit fun. TL playing with a 3v2 for now, but Palafox, that shockwave available as a threat. The center ult from downtown from FBI helps them get the Herald. But Team Liquid looking for something on the exit path. However, with Palafox with no mana, maybe they feel confident to do something. The jump in from Big Dokes again. Pyosik is out, but for the time being, looking for the reset with the help of his team. TL still in deep no man's land, and Ignar comes from behind. Someone has to flash away. FBI has joined in as well. NRG are pouncing on them, and TL bit off way too much. As APA, he might have the flash, but to burn it soon feels like the reality. Tongue lash out over the wall, gobbled up. What does he taste like? A free kill.
Oh my God, it tastes good, and it's tasting maybe like a win for NRG as they are crushing through the early game. We are 9 minutes in, it's 4-0. Already a 2,000 gold lead here. They're going to be able to push in mid as well. they haven't really been able to get any sort of an advantage with this Kalista. And FBI, with that cross-map Sentinel, helps them out around the Herald. We can see it one more time. They know they had the early move from Palafox. He is low on mana, but the Sentinel dissuades any sort of an engage from TL. Yes, Core got here first, but it's energy on the retreat. It's FBI arriving way before Yawn.
Yep.
And there's no way for TL to stay committed to the fight. Yoshik has to run, Summit has to run, and that means Core was always going to be left to die.
I just love, again, from what we've seen in NRG in the past, these map movements are so clutch. And, you know, as they were coming to this, I was like, I feel like NRG are my little LPL team from abroad, you know? I'm convinced that G2 were the same in EU. I'm convinced that North America runs NRG in that same way as APA's rooted up. Is he in trouble? Finally gets to burn that flash after he wasn't able to do so last time, but it just keeps falling for TL here in this opening game of Swiss Day 2.
Yeah, and FBI, a nice little move up towards mid there.
Who
catches him with the root, and that forces the flash, and now Contracts could threaten the dive. Sure, APA smartly scouts it out, but this means you got to back up, because without flash, this could be Contracts flashing in with Q-Flash, guaranteed ult, guaranteed shockwave follow-up, you would be dead. And Dokla winning out pretty heavily in this top side has been really doing a good job in the 1v1. And that is Summit's bread and butter. That is what this guy is known for, is a monster laning phase. He is the best laning top laner in the LCS, has really showcased his prowess in lane. You know, even in multiple leagues across the world, it's always been outside of lane that he's had his struggles. So the fact that Dokla's this far ahead is problematic.
All in coming through from bot side, though, to interrupt Dignar with the tongue lash. The long range from FBI already. Yon in trouble. Again, dinner time, not yet, as he narrowly avoids.
Oh!
Survives, but again, chips keep falling as the action doesn't stop. NRG keeping the pace going. And with a flick back, APA is one-hit wonder away. Contracts with his first kill of the game. And NRG, TL just can't keep up.
They really can't. They're getting run around the map, and now the Herald's going to drop mid as well. And it's really all been created around this advantage that Palafox gained. He gets the solo kill early. That gives Contracts the freedom to get more aggressive. Dokla was skirmishing in the top side really well, doing great up there. And I think the Senna TK was not expected from TL because it seems to have completely neutralized the TL bot lane to the point where Core basically seems to think there's no point in laning.
Again, he's been playing outside of the lane all game long as Pyosik trying to get something done. TL want their first kill of the game here, but the teleport dissuades the play. The only thing that's going to keep it going, or at least keep it safe for TLs with no jungler here, but Palafox trying to change the paces. Shockwave not up and available, maybe would have been the difference maker, but TL sent running for the hills again with a 2.5k gold lead. That's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking really good here for Energy. You know, the only kind of bomb there for TL is the fact that they did get the first dragon. We'll see if they can continually stack those dragons. It wasn't anything super early. You know, that second dragon coming up, 14 and a half, 15 minutes. With that Kalista, you definitely want to be stacking those objectives. But it's also really tough when Pyosik is falling behind, because when you're playing Viego, when you're playing Syndra, these two champions are supposed to work in conjunction to get that one shot, get that first kill, which gets the reset for Viego. If you can't get that first reset because you're too far behind, because your Syndra is too far behind, you lose a tremendous amount of value. So I think TL are already kind of in this position where they're going to have to find some different angles.
Yeah, and Yon, who's left by himself in the bottom lane, continues to get bullied out. Ignar and FBI have had his number all game long. And just a quick touchback on what you're talking about with not only Pyosik, but I think TL. We mentioned the scaling on NRG's side in comparison and what this team can do as they group up as a 4-1 or a 5-man unit. NRG have had such a successful early game that I think it is so right to continue singing their praises when TL are the ones who needed to put pace on this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, TL is going to have some opportunities. You know, they do have playmaking here, obviously, with the Cassante.
Of course.
Hey, if you can pull this Orianna who's super fed out of the fight, if you can pull someone away, split them up, maybe you can make something work there. Obviously, great engage for Core as well. But I do think it's going to be very difficult for Yon. You're playing this relatively low-range marksman. You're going to have a Jax jumping in your face. You're going to have to deal with a Senna who's outranging you heavily. You're going to have to deal with the potential shockwaves and Contracts mid again.
Kill number 4, APA. Yip, yip. Back to the base.
Not again. APA did so well in this matchup against Faker, but he wasn't playing against Fallon Faker.
Even better, isn't it? As the jump in on bot side, maybe TL finally can get something done, but Ignar saving FBI. Knock, knock, who's that? It looks like Ignar is in with the police. Is TL at least going to get some turret plating because of it, but look at mid. Open up yet again. and it is always a trade here with NRG at the very least.
Yeah, and Piosik wrapping around TL, I think are feeling the pressure. They know they need to make some sort of a dive happen. They're going to TP.
They finally get Piosik with something in the game. He flashes but misses FBI. Ignite doesn't have the saving grace with the Heartbreaker out. The ulti flash is still alive, but finally, there's a reset over to the TL jungler as Ignite is too far away to be caught out, but it opens up that bottom side and finally gives TL some meat.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get something from that. That is big for TL. They needed to get something going, find a lane to play around, so they heavily commit down towards that bot side. You know, they bring down the TP. They try to make something happen. It was a great sidestep on the stun there from FBI, but they'd already used the Tahm Kench ulti on the earlier play, and here it is around mid once again. Contracts this great job over the wall. It's a flashless Syndra, nails the ulti, sets up the shockwave for Palafox, and then down to bot side. This is after Tahm Kench already had to use his ulti in that initial play. Yep. So great sidestep there from FBI. I think his flash, though, unfortunately, was late on the R coming through from Piosik, so he did take that damage. I'm not sure, honestly, if it would have made the difference, but it was a little bit slow there. You know, to go for the R flash on Senna to try to stay alive with the shield, wasn't quite able to do it. But again, it's Dokla winning on top side. It's Palafox winning heavily through mid. It's Contracts getting more done in the jungle. It's really pressure on Yan now, who did not have a great game yesterday, to be big.
Flush away from APA as that win probability powered by AWS makes things interesting. It's saying NRG got it in the bag, but TL are not going to take that lying down. Dokla with the flush out with the Herald. Reset. Shelly says, hang on a minute. I've got something left at home. 2.8k as the oven's now turned off and Shelly's going back out to adventure, but the eye taken by the man in jungle from NRG. He's also separated, but the eye now exposes Core JJ is going to be the trade-off with a shockwave to the death. NRG make it a trade, and they get the purple eye.
Yeah, that is huge. They steal away that Herald. Yes, they do lose one, but it's 1-for-1. They can push up mid. That mid lane turret is almost dead, and they're still going to have that Herald in pocket here with Ignar to try to get even more done. Dokla up towards this top side. Ignar is ghosting him. Piosik is moving in, so they're going to see if they can try to get something done on Dokla, who has no flash, and also does have a ward, so he will be able to ward off, but we'll see if he can get anything done.
Level 11 here on the man with Divine Sundra. Look at the item comparison. APA, only with the lost chapter, the Fiendish Codex, but we're not going to get to test that metal at the very least. However, when we talked about Summit earlier on, we know this man for a great lane, or at least this game in a different lane, he's getting something done.
Yeah, goes to a different lane, does get that first tower, so nicely done by TL. I think NRG, there would have been, you know, some merit to maybe just dropping Herald mid instantly to claim that first tower with that Herald, but we can see this previous fight here. TL was clearly trying to keep NRG out, but with the spells on cooldown there from APA, NRG just kind of bully their way in, and Contracts is able to find the angle here, gets the smite, came down second. Yes, he gets pulled over the wall by Summit. They do get that kill, but Core is traded. They get the Herald. And NRG going to be really happy about their position in this game, still maintaining that 2,000 gold lead. But it has not grown, to be fair.
Well, it's been a player matchup at the very least through the mid lane that has started that gold lead. Palafaker, always wanted to say it, has been dominating APA.
Rolls off the tongue, it's nice.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, he deserves it. Again, this guy, remnants of the CLG roster.
Yeah.
And he's just taken over. He's been the best mid laner for me for the LCS.
Absolutely. I mean, in playoffs, he was for sure the best mid laner in the league.
Yep.
You know, regular season, I think that has to go to JoJo. The MVP was playing really well. But Palafox is such a cool story because he's one of those players, and a lot of the NRG guys are players who have been kind of perennially overlooked in the LCS. People who have always been, well, they're okay. They're an LCS player, but they're not that good. You know, they never seem to get into All-Pro. They never seem to win these awards, these accolades. You know, even going into finals, no one thought they were going to be able to take down Cloud9, including Cloud9, who was aiming for that undefeated playoffs. And out of nowhere, they win. And they really have shown just how good they can be. FEI stepped up massively in playoffs. Palafox stepped up so big in playoffs. And this team that was so up and down in the regular season, it was a team that always challenged the best teams, but always lose to the worst, showed us some consistency for once and showed us just how good they can be. And now they are starting to get some of that recognition.
Yeah, they've really nailed down the playstyle, haven't they? And again, they get consistency comes through as Contracts dives through. The man who hasn't been at Worlds since 2017 is leading the charge on this boar. With the teleport in from Dokla, though, they make it a 5-man bot side. They've left Summit towards mid, but they've got the pick. They've got a turret under their eyes, and NRG stay as the unit.
And this could be double tower here. I think they should just walk this in. They're trying to kill it off before the charge, so no HP lost off the Herald there. They're going to walk this up, and they're going to look for 2 towers, as Summit now going to be moving over, because Palafox TP'd mid, so NRG has to be careful to not overextend. Palafox has to follow the move from Summit.
We're going to be spotted out at the very least. It turns into 1v1 while the Herald gets the charge bot side, but there it goes. TL able to stop the pressure.
Here comes Dokla.
This could turn into a 2v1 very quickly. Over the wall, there's a counter-strike, but Unstoppable separates, makes it a 1v1, but Summon is now squishy as all hell. Dokla says, no problem whatsoever. I'll take that freebie as he moves to 3-0-1, and Core JJ once again in no man's land. Spin to win from the man in the top side, and T1 get him out of there. Excuse me, TL. I'm in the remnants of yesterday because TL are now getting bodied.
It's understandable. You have, all ththese LCK players. You got Palafaker.
That's right. I walked myself into it.
Exactly. Potato, potato. Who could tell the difference? NRG, though, really playing well here. Dominating this game thus far. It's good map movements as well. They get down towards bot side. Again, just constantly picking on APA. Really putting the pressure on them. Context has been relentless, and it's just constantly setting up for these shockwaves from Palafox. They get that first kill. They get the pressure. They hold the Herald, and I love how they rush down the tower to actually save that. Then Dokla on the move preempts the play that TL was actually trying to set up for. They had a TP on APA when he was up, so they wanted to try to set up this 5v4 on bot side. Dokla says, no, I'm going to actually attack the flanker, bring both the soul lanes over. They get another kill here on Summit. And Dokla is getting miles ahead now in this side lane. 3 kills on the Jax, 3 kills on the Orianna mid. And we're going to have Palafox working towards that death cap. And when that death cap comes through from Orianna, that is when you can start to have those 100-0 combos. No one is safe.
And look, we've only got a one-item Cassante. Everyone else, too, they're going to dissipate. I mean, this is the biggest thing as well. Yon, APA, Pyosik are going to have a hard time as soon as Palafaker continues up that mark. Close with the needlessly large is NRG on the Baron here, Azael, and no one's nearby from TL. Look at where Pyosik is.
Yeah, I mean, they're just drawing so much pressure down towards bot side. They knew Pyosik is bot, so they're just going to force this. They don't have that much damage, but now Dokla sees Pyosik in there to finish it.
I think this. I think APA bitten off way too much. He dies even on Tara. Pyosik is still there in full vision while NRG have a free smite and look for the kill. Core JJ with the all in, but the numbers advantage there. Igna saves FBI. Meanwhile, Dokla dies downstairs. But look at Contracts onto Yon, trying to run away. There's some spears in, but as he gets separated out, TL trying to get numbers advantage. Contracts will eventually die. It's the best fight we've seen so far from Team Liquid, but Summit needs to go down, and NRG have their targets in order. Core JJ and Yon are all that's left standing. Pyosik at least got the kill on the other side. At least they stopped the Baron, but NRG got more resources in the process.
Yeah, they do stop the Baron, but what a scrappy series of events there. Dokla taking the 1v2, killing APA down on the bot side, and gets his splash. And on the other side of the map, TL doing a really good job with a numbers disadvantage, so Dokla just goes aggressive. He knew that Pyosik was around. He all-ins to force the jungler to come to try to get the advantage on the other side, and then is able to chase down APA, gets the kill here. Counter-Strike comes back up, but he's just too low. Nice flash to actually avoid that ulti, but Pyosik has the chase down, did eventually get that kill. As TL were fighting it out 3v4 on the other side. They played this really well. Summit threatening the flank, and Core JJ coming in with the engage to create space for Yon, who is so critical. The instant exhaust came down from Ignar, and he had to use that ulti to get FBI out to safety, but Yon had the cleanse for the exhaust, was putting out a lot of pressure, and Palafox critically was pretty low on mana. So then they're able to split up the fight. All Out comes out from Summit, trying to peel them apart, trying to buy that space for Yon, because he's really the only damage dealer here that's in a position to succeed in this game, so they have to set up Yon for success, but they can't quite push through and get the rest of the kills.
But I want to highlight, at least in that play from TL, who have always managed in this game to keep within an arm's reach of the gold, at least that 2-3K mark, is that they got a big kill on Pyosik. That shutdown onto Dokla, a lot of gold gathered, so still a threat is a great scatter the week to stop that dive in as well. On top, Palafox holding onto the shockwave for now. But TL resists the ambition to go in on top of NRG and hold them at arm's length.
Yeah, doing a good job. Palafox looking like he actually wants to go for the Zhonya's completion instead. He did have to use his stopwatch in that last fight, so now picking up that Phoenix Codex, not going to be working towards the death cap, is going to be going back towards that Zhonya's, which always has so much value against Syndra. The ultimate comes out from Syndra. You can pop the Zhonya's, be able to immune that. So clearly, he's more worried about his survival, the upfront burst, than he is about just the consistent damage, because they are in a really good spot as far as that concerned. It is just that 3K gold lead, though, 1 dragon apiece. So it's honestly still anyone's game, though I do really favor NRG compositionally from their point.
Yeah, I think we've also been talking them up all early game long, too, so completely fair that NRG have been the ones in control. But I just love, again, that you can't count this team out. second Dragon for Team Liquid as well. Worth mentioning, while NRG have the inside track towards mid, towards that Baron side, they want to threaten TL to move into their headquarters once again.
The problem is, with these Baron threats, their damage is really low. You know, Senna is not super high DPS. Yes, you have the Orianna that's relatively a high damage, but without Jax there, I don't think you can threaten a rushdown with this composition. So if you were playing Azir Kai'Sa, I would respect what they're doing more. You know, you'd have to be worried about it from the TL side. Like, oh, they could actually insta-kill this, but now they're going for the engage.
Instead, the pick is there. Great again. Ignar going to chase this one up as Contracts with the ulti onto APA is huge, but the shockwave! I know why they call him Palafaker. I can feel it.
Palafox's shockwave will find them all.
Yeah,
they get
baby.
the triple there, pushing him off, and now Energy going to be able to go over to Baron here. A massive play from Palafox again, as now the Zhonya is complete. Him and Ignar are going to be playing bodyguard, but this Baron is going to go down so slow if Palafox doesn't actually go help to hit it.
Might be in a bit of trouble. Palafox not following it up, though. It's just to get him away from the potential Baron. And you're right, Azael, you hit the nail on the head. That Baron is slower than me walking across the street after doing 30,000 steps in Korea. Moving like a snail. They're going to continue on while Dokla just deals with the bottom side. But eventually, and surely, Baron will go down to NRG. The big major objective here in this game is at least Pyosik is trying to trade this off again, but Dokla won't exactly let him. Another stun to bite the dust. The Heartbreaker is up, but it's flashed away from, and Dokla will survive.
Yeah, a little bit greedy there. Dokla knew they were in the area, didn't want to lose the red buff, wanted to grab this, does get punished, loses the flash, but at the end of the day, it is all NRG. Warded out was CoreJJ. Yes, Yon can pull him back to save him with the ulti, but then APA gets tagged again by Contracts for it feels like the 100th time this game. And then that shockwave from Palafox was massive. Finds the three-man shockwave there. And it feels like that may have sealed the deal. To get the Baron, they're now over 6K ahead here. And it's really accelerating them further and further ahead in this game. Ignar is so damn tanky at this point that's really tough to get through him. Contracts is on 2.5 items, only 26 minutes in for a jungler. There's just not a lot of damage here. And Yon has so much armor to deal with that I don't really see how you can ever get through them in a quick way.
That's right, that Kalista point in the game versus Tom, versus Sedge, versus Jax even.
Yeah.
Irrelevancy is something to talk about, and I think more importantly, something you raised in the game as well. You know, Dokla on this Jax, 2 items now with a stopwatch. Who starts matching him? How do you play side lanes? How do you deal with the push? NRG right now, multifaceted through mid, through top. Baron is doing work here with Red Bull Baron power play already at 2,500. And in a turret about to bite the dust as TL is stretched thin.
Yeah, TL might be going for it though. CoreJJ looking for the flank, but the tower is going to be going down, so it's too late, and Yon in trouble.
NRG pulling the play instead. Instant cleanse away, but that's summoner taken as CoreJJ is now on a ward. So he'll be spotted out as Palafox has the movement speed thanks to FBI, thanks to dissonance. And it is Yakety Sax to run away, flash from the shockwave, while the rest of NRG are looking to pincer this movement. And TL, I mean, again, running out of options. CoreJJ hasn't been home in years. I mean, this guy level 9. He's been sitting out of base, and I think another couple of minutes will do him well. The slowdown, easy kill. And one for FBI, while Dokla is just playing his own game. Teleport going to be burning in. Okay, this time he's got backup on Pyosik. The Grandmaster's might is there, but Palafox now with a Rabadon's death cap. You got to take him even more seriously.
Yeah, he is ready to go. Hit 16, gets the death cap, and that is often the death knell against Orianna here. You get so ridiculously strong at this point. Dokla pressuring, they're pressuring through mid as well. TL just don't have the wave clear. Kalista, without a Hurricane, has almost no wave clear to speak of, and you can't step up because you're so outranged, so it's all up to APA, but APA is very far behind. Contracts has been his bane this game. 1, 2, and 8, but I feel like Contracts to me is just dominating this game. He has been so on point with the ultis.
Great to see him back at Worlds. It's been so long, but this performance putting hope in NRG fans. The root comes down and someone gets poked down. Walk away from this. At least one NA team is going to be moving to 1-1 here as well. And NRG right now look like they deserve it. Such a better showing after going up against Weibo yesterday and having no face in any of the early game in any part of that game against Weiwei and his Poppy. Today, all you can say is that NRG are looking so much cleaner. And Azal, they've never stopped this pace. That's what's so beautiful about this team. There's always one play after another.
Yeah, absolutely. They are really pressuring the map pretty heavily here. Dokla has been constantly out in the side lanes, drawing a lot of pressure, created his own advantage that was kind of slammed home by Contracts. You know, the early trading kind of helped to set up for that gank that came up from Contracts to get that first kill, and then Contract constantly pressuring around APA. You know, the Soul Laners started that snowball, but Contracts kept it rolling all game long, non-stop pressuring APA. You know, you can see, just look at that itemization. He's a full death cap behind his opponent. That is a ridiculous disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
And you're looking over at Jan. Yeah, great, he's got 2 items, but Contracts is closing in on 3. Dokla has 3. Palafox has 3. You know, even Ignar is going to be so hard for him to ever get through. So TL have very limited options here. And we'll see how quickly Palafox and the rest of the squad can push this forward. But you do have to say, if you watched a lot of energy in the regular season,
Say it.
no game was unlosable.
Yeah.
They lose some ridiculous games in the regular season, including, I think it was their first game of the split against the Mortals. They lost the game that they won. I want to say it was somewhere between 10 and 12K ahead,
Yeah,
something
right.
like that. And so it does happen. This is one of those teams that sometimes gets overzealous, but in this game, they're looking really measured. They're not looking like they're really overstepping. They clearly want to have a good showing here, and they're in a great position to finish it out.
Yeah, hopefully no clumsy mechanics, no clumsy move from NRG with, again, almost that 10K gold lead, but at least TL
Over top.
trying to force it out. Scan of the Week doesn't connect, though. Dokla's out. 5 members now, all moving in, or rather 4, as you said. Still waiting for someone to join in, but Dokla's taking them all on the crash down from Core JJ. Nothing's connected. As Dokla flashes out, he's ready to go back in. The stun follows through. Contracts now joins in. They tried to take on Big Dokes, but you don't say his name without getting the Dokes back. TL running for the hills, and NRG, every single movement has been world class.
You sent 4, but you should have brought 5. Big Dokes fights his way out of it. He's going to survive, and NRG crushing TL now. 19-4 is the kill score, pushing down mid. And this is a team, NRG, that plays with emotion, that plays with confidence. When they're ahead, they often really get ahead. So it's such a big win for them, and we'll see if they can close it out right here, right now.
31 minutes onto the Nexus turret to teleport to seal the deal. APA still dead for a bit. And look, Piosik is going to try and do what he can here on the 2-0 Viego, but Team Liquid now in fear of a KT dumb one possibility, but more importantly, NRG keeping themselves in a strong spot. 1-1 here to open up day 2 of Swiss at Worlds, and NRG should start being respected with more performances like this as they run onto the fountain to finish in style.
I love Halloween. I get free Kit Kats.
Son, you're 8. All your Kit Kats are free.
That was funny.
Twinings, drinking life.
My sunset honey's always make me say, I really wanna be in LA.
Brought that out yesterday, really did look good on it, was way ahead of the pace of the game as far as his farming was concerned, had some great team fights as well. And I'm just so interested to see how Cloud9 will look, because Flabber talked about it in his interview, they've talked about it publicly some, the fact that they are really more confident against these LPL teams based on scrims, because they were getting ran by the LCK teams, they were getting crushed by them, but they were doing pretty well against some of these LPL squads. So I think they're relatively happy with this matchup, but that being said, Scrimbucks did not really end up meaning anything yesterday, where LPL went 4-0. The LCK dropped 2 series when those were a lot of teams that people were telling you are just obliterating everyone in the scrims.
Yeah, it's not to be misread again. Scrims deceiving us as always. As quick note, the takeaway of the Kaiser from Gala, a nice little touch. Gala's best champion by far. It's his pentakill champion. Something we didn't get to see yesterday, but something that was the only option outside the Xayah. Lee Sin for Tarzan, though. When you think historically, Azal, you've been at Worlds many, many years. I mean, this guy, when he was on Griffin, this was his champion.
Yeah.
Tarzan's Lee Sin is a classic for me, too.
Easily one of the best in the world on the champion. This guy is incredible, but to me, this is just screaming Poppy. Poppy's not banned.
Good
You have
choice.
Alistar, Lee Sin, Poppy, Poppy, Poppy. I really think is the pick here. You can go for Rakan for the engage, but Jungle Poppy to me is so strong right now. I even think Poppy top has some decent matchups.
Yep.
I do think it's more situational, but it can be a flex. I would be a little bit surprised if they don't go for the angle. especially because I think a lot of the other champions that LNG does like to play are going to be denied by Poppy as well. When I think of a lot of Zika's favorite champions, things like Jax and along those lines,
Yep.
That's something that can also be answered and denied by that Poppy. So you can also apply Plasma, of course, with the CC for that Kaisa. It helps to set up for that as well. But Sejuani is going to be the angle here. So instead, favoring more for that engage. And I think it's also going to be setting up for potential melee solo laners. We saw the Cassante flex towards mid for M&S yesterday. There's a lot of melee top laners that are really meta right now. So I do think they're kind of trading off some of that utility for potential stronger 2v2s through mid and top, which I think is a fair trade to make, especially after we saw Scout just completely run the game yesterday.
Oh yeah, on this pick.
I do just think that this draft was just screaming Poppy out to me, man.
I agree. I completely agree. And considering that now the option is, if you want to take it away from a top option here, as you said, Zika on Jax is a very real threat.
Yeah.
The other thing that scares me too is the fact that Scout will remain unchecked to slide and glide in Emperor's Divide. He's on his ear once again, and with the Yone banned away, maybe LNG don't pay respect. Maybe they take it away for themselves. Zika is flexible. The thing people don't know about this top laner of the LPL, he's like a combination of 369 and Bin.
Yeah.
Bin plays carries and Cassante. 369 plays tanks. Zika can play them all. I think he's the most flexible top laner, or at least one in the world.
And to me, this is one of the guys that I think is the most under the radar for international fans. He's not a big name compared to, Bin and 369 and guys along those lines, but you will see throughout this tournament just how good Zika is. I do think he belongs up with those massive names, with the Shy, with all those guys that are coming from the LPL that may be more famous to the international audience.
Yep.
He is incredibly flexible. You said it. His Jax is amazing. His Cassante is great. He can play Sion. He can play Gwen. He can play really at all. And I think it makes it so difficult to prepare for someone like this, especially with the expectation that he's getting 5th pick, counter pick on red side. How are you going to play around it?
Well, definitely not with a Poppy. C9 ban it away instead themselves, thinking that's going to come on red side 4 for LNG, while it is those very explosive mid lane champions for M&S in the Silas and the Yone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's interesting, right? Because that would mean they're expecting that Zika would be willing to play that Poppy top as a potential blind if he was going to go it on 4. But they're going to ban out the Cassante. It almost feels like you're kind of asking for the Jax, which makes me wonder, what does Fudge have in store for that? Because to me, when I think of Zika, I don't know if you agree, but I think of Jax as his best champion.
I do, yeah.
I'm really, really impressed. Watching the regular season, watching playoffs, that is what I associated with this guy. So the bans were catering to that, right? So is it just going to be a Renekton versus Jax and Fudge just kind of wants to go for that skill matchup? I'm not the biggest fan of this. I do think it can work well because you have that Sejuani pairing. So maybe this was their plan the whole way through, is really just playing heavily around this. But it does put so much pressure on both Fudge and Blabber to be able to create that advantage, to be able to take Herald, to be able to use that pressure top to get something done. Whereas Zika he doesn't have to do anything, right? Like you can just sit back and make sure you're not dying. And you have Scout farming up, you're gonna have Gallo farming up. This would be really interesting. We did see some kind of more niche counters to these here popping up in LCS. Xerath was one of those popular. Veigar is one that we had heard talk of, but we didn't see a lot of it. Syndra has been pretty popular, pretty prevalent throughout this, and I do think it fits the style of their composition better. This feels much more kind of mid-gamey, very divey from the Cloud9 side, whereas LNG don't have to play that way. Yes, you can have Lee Sin as this aggressive pick, but now you have Lee Sin kick for disengage.
Yep.
You have Alistar knockback for disengage. You have Azirol for disengage. You have Tristana Buster Shot for disengage, right?
Yeah.
Like, very clearly, I think LNG will play this to kite back. Sure, if there's a great opportunity, they could dive in and they can try to one-shot someone, but they don't have to, and I think that's kind of the beauty of their draft. I really like what they have drafted, even nameplates off, much more than what Cloud9 have done. And I think when you turn nameplates on, that becomes even scarier because LNG is such a stable team. They're not always one of those LPL teams that's drawn into the chaos.
Exactly.
And I think that Cloud9's draft really kind of needs that chaotic energy. They need to be scrapping, especially on that top side. When you're looking at, Renekton and Sejuani, you want to be making things happen. I just don't know if LNG is going to bite.
But for C9, I mean, that's the frustrating part, isn't it? Again, it's taken some of the best teams to really beat down LNG. JDG with their strong lanes, their great mid-game team fighting, and they're just best all-round team fighting in the world as well. That's what's beaten LNG in a Game 5 in the Grand Finals of the LPL. But for LNG specifically, it was yesterday against Fnatic that I want to highlight this matchup in the top side where Zika absorbed the pressure from Oscarinin and Razork, and nothing came through. They were punished, they were slapped down, the game fell down from there as well. And it feels like that top
Way of moving around Vandal. Going to be a could get the squeeze to advance, and that would really set themselves up well. So this is what Cloud9 really need to get done. The win against Mad was great, but this is the bar that they're going to set for themselves.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into this one, our second game of day 2 of Swiss. Day 2 at that. Remember to connect your League of Legends account to get the Prime Gaming emote, the exclusive experimentation emote. I called it extermination yesterday, but if you play Heimerdinger, you know, it's exactly the same thing. Get it, spam it, use it as we welcome you back. And look, on the note of C9, I will say it'd be a very C9 thing to do to create an upset here, to have a really good chance of getting into that top 8. Sitting on BO3s for a while and giving themselves the best chance would be amazing for the history of this organization. Who else but C9 to do it?
It would be huge if they're able to get it done. And we can see that deep ward thrown down there by Zika on top side. So wants to be able to cover and track where Blabber is going to be pathing. He knows that there's likely to be pressure up towards top side, especially because it is going to be a leash start on bot. So, you know, Zika is going to have to play around those level 3 timings, those level 4 timings that could potentially come up towards top side. And we'll see what Fudge can get done. He missed his Q, so now Zika's just going to step forward and take this quick trade. As level 1 for Jax in this matchup, obviously, you know, really strong for the Jax. And this is such a good Merc Treads game as well for LNG. You know, there's so much CC over on the other side. I think we're going to see a lot of Merc Tread rushes. We have the cleanse on Gala, and I already talked about how much peel and disengage they have, which is all going to serve them, I think, incredibly well.
I mean, it's going to be frustrating. It's along the narrative lines of LNG. They're a frustrating team to verse. Because, again, they pincer you, they slow bleed, and they're also just great at saying no. This is when we're going to take the play. So a team composition like this fits into their wheelhouse, while at least in the early game, C9, their wheelhouse is pushing them out, getting the aggro down, hitting level 2 first here, so Hung and Gala have to pay respect.
Yep, Gala losing a bit of HP there. Want to step up. He was trying to get an experience range, not even to farm, but did get tagged by both the Q from Berserker and the W, as well as the Q from Sven. So lost a good 30-40% of his health. Didn't have to actually pop that potion yet, though, so not that big of a deal. And, you know, it has been a spotted Sejuani over by this blue buff. That ward that Zika put down is going to spot him. Zika has the full shove, so he's just going to bounce the wave, and he's just going to take an early reset, so deny any possibility of that gank timer. I really do love it in these kind of matchups. If you can get that early push, as you sometimes can as this Jax, it just avoids this level 3 timing where you're going to be vulnerable.
Plus extra stats, Ruby Crystal picked up as well, so it's going to help with some of the trades that Fudge is going to try and burst. Yeah, again, for Zika as well, with that great timing, might actually sync up for Tarzan to pull some lane presence here on the Lee Sin. We're talking about this in draft. Tarzan's Lee Sin, really like no other. He's got many highlights in the LPL already since he joined in, and especially syncing up with Scout like he did yesterday. There's such huge damage potential, especially at that level 6.
It can be an absolute bounce house, right? You know, you get swept back by the Azir, kicked even further back by the Lee Sin. There are a lot of potential combos here that they can go for, but Blabber has stayed around on this top side, and Zika has walked back the lane. He did hold on to his TP. That's critical.
Nice Scout of the week. Here's Sven with the roam. Hang on, Scout caught out. Ignite. They're hitting the strong point of LNG straight off the bat. That's a summoner down. Scout's going to have to base the TP back in.
Really good roam from Sven. This is a guy who has gotten so much criticism for his engaged supports, but has grinded nonstop throughout his entire career, both as an AD and a support. He's always been a grinder, works hard nonstop, and really has been putting in that work to get up to par for the international level on these engaged supports, and makes a good early roam here, having an impact on that early matchup. That's step number 1.
Priority here for Eminence. I mean, look at the CS lead already building up. The Scout has had to teleport back to lane. Hitting the strong point of LNG. I love the strat so early on from Cloud9 when you said they had to be a bit brawly, a little bit bruisery here and get into the thick of the weeds. I think that's the perfect start for Cloud9 to open up this game.
Absolutely. And I think for a lot of people, if you're not someone who watches LCS all the time, I think people still have this kind of opinion, this thought of Blabber, that he's this hyper-aggressive guy and that he's kind of coin-flippy and he does this sort of style. But really, Blabber is much more farm-oriented. He's a guy that, to me, just exemplifies efficiency in the jungle more than anyone else in our league. He's all about, you know, finding these gank timings, but prioritizing farm and not spending a lot of time to do it. And when you talk to pros that play against him, they always have this feeling that Blabber is there, even though he is the most heavy farming jungler in our league, which really speaks to the fact that when he is there, it's at the right time. It's when he really needs to be. And it kind of gets in people's head to the point where they don't feel that they can play the game they want to, because it feels like he's always going to be there if you go aggressive.
Which is so funny in this game, because I feel like you could say the same thing about Tarzan. Like, Tarzan prioritizes farm, he farms efficiently, but yeah, you always feel like he's there. A lot of the time he is, because he loves hanging around Scout. The proximity between the two always high, but Just hilarious to see as we pause to digress and chill out a little bit on the Cloud9 opening start. Now, I will also say Hung is still in lane for the time being. That's also a little bit rare, as people don't know.
What is happening?
On likes to sync up with Shun over on BLG all the time, abandons Elk. Hung's not as aggressive, but that dude is rarely in lane too.
He is just kind of a bit of a bad man. This is a guy who likes to go for the really spicy plays, the really aggressive plays. You know, he's not afraid to really put his life on the line to make a play happen for the team. And I think that's one of the things that really stands out about him to me and that really makes him fun to watch. And LNG is just kind of so into Gala, so we'll see how much this he can pick up. Likely nearly all of it knowing Gala, as he is a CS monster.
But at least some of it, at the very least, you can highlight through those early tradings, hitting level 2 from Berserker and Sven. They were able to lock down a bit of an advantage in this lane. We also remember that through mid, if you are just checking back in with us, that Scout lost both summoners. One to return back after the heavy trade, one for the flash that was burnt by Sven's early roam to only trade the Ignite from him. So C9 with a small early advantage. Let's see if they can punish some of those summoners as we start getting towards the level 6s. And even the Tarzan start on Dragon. While Blabber has decided to do the core JJ for this game at least. This time he's on a ward.
Yeah, is spotted out, waiting for that top side scuttle. He's just been cycling his camps. He wants to push heavily towards 6 and play towards this top side. Fudge is 6, and Blabber is up here. Zika needs to play safe because he knows Blabber's in the area, and they're getting Dragon for free on bot side, so we'll see. Blabber spotted again.
But is that trade too big? With Dominus, maybe not the way pushing in, but it's thinned out. Zika still playing dangerously. Sven is also going to be spotted on this control ward, but Dragon, as early as you'd like on a Lee Sin, taken by Tarzan.
Yeah, nicely done there. And Fudge now, because he took that bad trade, unfortunately Blabber had to stay around and actually cover him on the push-in.
Yep.
Because he did get chunked down so low. If he left, there's always the potential that he does get all-in. But LNG really winning out on these last couple of plays. They take the Dragon, they push in, they get a plate on bot side. A nice trade from Zika, plus the wards on Blabber dissuade any sort of action on top side. And we'll see, though, can Blabber now make something happen? There's a slight window before Scout has his flashback, where Blabber is now 6. But he would have to rush straight towards mid, and Scout is just based and got Merc Tread, so he's playing around that timing.
Yeah.
By the time he's in danger, the Flash is going to be back, and he's going to be sitting pretty.
I mean, teleport almost up there as well, so any punish that comes through, Scout should be fine. They left this Azir pick open, and I'm going to be questioning throughout this game, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's a mistake or not. It was yesterday, the 11-0 and 7. You heard me say before. It was on the Jace matchup, Azale. It was a little bit different, but again, you know, it's one of Scout's best champions historically.
Yeah, it's so hard though, man, when you're playing against a player like Scout.
He's got 18 of them.
Yeah, almost anything he gets looks good. It's like, oh, he got that Azir, I don't know. Oh, he got a Cinder, oh, he got that Orianna, I'm not sure. You know, it's just everything you give them seems like a bad thing to give them.
Yeah, it's hard to win, honestly.
Yeah, turns out he's just good at the game.
At the very least, look, Evanescence, something that has a bit more priority in lane. We're just still waiting to see how it gets punished up as LNG playing deep and nitty-gritty in this bottom lane. Hung and Tarzan already syncing up. It might still be in the bottom side, but starting to move together while Gala slowly pushes this wave.
And you can see Blabber is heading out towards bot because he knows he needs to cover this crashing wave here. Will they look for an engage is the question, as Tarzan trying to pick up a lot of this. Blabber's heading there, but not going to be here in time for any sort of a fight to break out, but that's another play going over to Gala because Cloud9 can't step up to the wave or they have Alistar and Lee Sin behind them, and it's probably a pretty easy kill to actually execute. So just slight advantages being eked out there by LNG. You know, it was a little bit of an edge. They're going to go for Syndra.
Emperor's Divide, the glide, and see you later. The kick back with the Sonic Wave doesn't connect. It slows down the play, but Scout with his range again. Oh no. First blood to the man in the mid lane for LNG is a big plus.
Nicely done. And this is always the worry in this matchup. Azir versus Syndra. Syndra can have that proactivity in the early lane, but as soon as you get to 6, you can swoop in for that Azir ult. Even if you don't get the kill, if you get the flash, you can return and get that kill again. But this time, they get the kill with just the flash from Tarzan, and that's going to mean as soon as kick is back up for Tarzan, Scout could look for a flash ulti, and they could get an almost guaranteed kill there on MNS. So great job by LNG. Now going to be able to get a plate here in mid lane as well, and they're opening up a slight lead for the first time in this game.
Yeah, 10 CS, that kill as well for Scout. We'll see what it nets with the start of a Nash's Tooth there in his inventory, but this is how the game against Fnatic started. With Scout getting a lead, it doesn't stop at 1, it goes to 2, 3 very quickly.
Yeah.
And so C9 need to keep a cap on that lid.
And while LNG aren't the craziest team, one of the things that they do so well is punish mistakes, punish missing cooldowns from their opponents. And,
Exactly.
you know, I think that's something they did incredibly well against Fnatic, as you're saying. And now, if I'm MNS, I am really sweating for this next couple minutes when you're playing with no flash against an Azir that has flash, has ulti. And Scout just sets it up really, really well. Tarzan coming in, no hesitation. He tries to get the scatter. The scatter not able to keep him safe. The Q misses from Tarzan, but honestly, it didn't matter. No one was going to get there in time. He was always going to die. And at the end of the day, the kill going over to Scout is just that much better.
They're the best mid-jungle duo of the LPL as once again, Tarzan into action onto Fudge. While spotting him out, dropping a ward as he makes his exit. Should be close to an item for Tarzan as well here after his participation through the mid lane. Gore Drinker now picked up. And he's the first one of LNG to do so, as Blabber the same too. And it has just been a nice start for LNG, despite what we saw mid with the flash burned out from Scout before.
Yeah, I mean, Zika is just playing this lane out so well. They've known that there was going to be pressure up towards topside. You know, that is the problem with going with such an obvious draft like Cloud9 has.
Yep.
So they just constantly kept wards up towards that top side. You know, Zika put the level 1 ward over by the blue buff. Then they had, I believe, a ward from Tarzan that was placed over in Pixel that spotted him out. They have the defensive wards in Tribush that's going to spot him out. They just always kept eyes on it. And Sven getting kind of disrespectful here. Has to be a bit careful.
Flash available. Tarzan doesn't get the Sonic Wave this time either, as the quickness gets the movement speed for Sven to escape. Almost caught out, almost a kill for Gala, but at least negating that fact.
Yeah, so Zika's just been able to kind of wax on, wax off, stay alive. And
Exactly.
he's chilling, right? Like, this is a matchup they're going to be feeling better and better about. The Fudge looking to get aggressive. He has the Mythic completed. Doesn't want Zika to base, but not going to be able to stop him. He may earn himself a plate with that denial of the base right there, but Zika is deciding to stay around, and it's going to have to be Sven running out towards bot as, again, Berserker's getting zoned off. You know, he is still slightly up in CS, but he's going to be zoned off another wave as Sven was forced to use his ulti and retreat on mid lane.
Trying to turn into a dive. Dominus is there. 1 versus 2. Zika is going to pop the ulti. The Counter-Strike now run out. He's out of mana as well. Permafrost laid with the own ulti. Well done by C9, but the problem is the bottom side. As LNG fail the dive, they get turret plating out of it, but C9 getting topside is some relief.
Yeah, that is really good that they're able to execute on this kill because they're going to get the full tower.
Yeah.
That is a big deal to get that kill. And Berserker barely survives on bot side. LNG has been pressuring heavily through bot. MNS did get down there to cover, which is good, but it does mean he's going to be losing farm. Scout pushes in, takes another plate. So more and more plates have been going the way of LNG, but it's a slight lead for Cloud9. And they're looking really very even with LNG through 13 minutes. So credit to them. This is a very, very competitive game.
I mean, again, C9, we talked about coming in. This is a historic organization that does so well under pressure. As we look at topside as this 1v2, they wait for Zika's cooldowns.
Yep, exactly. They force out the Counter-Strike with him going in, and then wait for that Permafrost passive to be stacked up. That means no way to miss the ulti from Sejuani. That's guaranteed, so they get the kill. Then here on bot side, MNS on the roam. He is really kind of the hero of this one. You can see them going in for this dive, but the Kai'Sa ulti plus the double shielding there from Sven creates the space, and with MNS arriving, LNG knew, okay, we got to back it up, or this could become a disaster really fast.
And with the health going on to LNG as well, means the turret dive, or at least the turret push, can't be traded. So it is first turret blood, as you well highlighted, Azale, that goes to C9, moves to almost a 1k gold lead, but taking care of the other part of the map state, which is objectives, LNG have moved us to an Infernal Soul. They're on their 3rd dragon coming up, if they can at least take it. So the objective game is being played down towards that bottom side.
Absolutely. And now it's going to be about, can you actually transition this advantage that you've created for Fudge around the map? Can you use that to take more objectives? Can you use that to go and contest this next dragon and stop that? Because that is going to be the issue here now for Cloud9. You know, they have Fudge in a position where he could potentially succeed. But again, he's going to have to deal with so much disengage. And I think that is one of the most difficult parts about this whole composition for Cloud9 is that, you know, when you have these kind of binary champions that just have to go in and try to get in on these carries, where you have Rocket Jump, you have the Shreem and Shuffle, you have the ability to actually create so much space with the Buster Shot and all these different cooldowns, it's going to be tough for Fudge to get in there. So everyone from Cloud9 is going to have to be on the same point. You can't kind of go in, you know, one at a time. It's got to be everyone going in at once. Rakan goes in, Sejuani ult lands, Fudge is landing, you know, the ult and the scatter from MNS, everything kind of has to hit at the same time, or it's going to be so easy for LNG to peel and cut it out.
At least thanks to that Mastercard lane economy snapshot, we can see that Fudge is going to have the gold to play with, 1,500 over Zika, by the way, if you missed that. Gore Drinker with the Kindle Gem already picked up, but I like the analysis of the composition. You talked a lot about it in draft as well. We've mentioned comfort quite a lot for LNG, but again, the fact that everyone's got to disengage, everyone's got a jump button at least as well. Let's see another one in action. Flush away from Zen. Great timing. He's good on the fingers today, but will mean they lose out on the mid turret with that burnt down.
Yeah, and honestly, this is just such a win for LNG. Cloud9 go to take Herald. Herald gives you the opportunity to get a tower, right? And while you're getting that, they take the mid tower, they take the bot tower, they get the flash off Sven. It's just such a bigger win for LNG. You can really see they're very adept at how they play the map. I think they're going to feel so confident as this game gets later and later and later. With the Azir interest on it, two of the safest hyper carries in the game.
Oh, yeah.
So it is going to be difficult for Cloud9, and LNG, again, are just refusing to fight where Cloud9 is strong, right? I think Cloud9 was really hoping, hey, come and fight us at the Herald. Hey, come over here. We're going to scrap. But they're not willing to do it. They're just going to say, no, you can take that. We're going to go 4 mid. We'll send 1 bot. We'll take global objectives. We'll take gold off the map, and we'll wait till we're ready.
They're just chilling. I mean, again, the wave clear massive, and Gala just doing what Gala does every single game, which is farm up, push waves out, back off, get another item, and he's close to getting his second as we do a bit of a check in there as well. Just a quick note. Gala up 10 CS, but almost up 2 items because of all the plating he got in the bottom side. Another quite achieving game where... Berserker wasn't able to get that same luxury on the enemy turret himself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that Berserker and Sven honestly played really well in the 2v2, but LNG played heavily around bot. Tarzan did a great job getting down there. We constantly saw Tarzan and Hong, just threatening the dive, right? Wrapping around behind, and always it felt like when we pan down, you're seeing Berserker walk back, walk away from the turret, give up plates, give up farm. That was the position that he was in, and LNG just orchestrated that so well. They're saying, sure, you can put pressure on topside, but you're not going to get a lot of kills on Zika, and we're just going to guarantee farm or to guarantee advantages on our carries. We're going to play around mid, we're going to play around bot, stack objectives, and then when we're ready to fight, you're going to be forced to come 5v5 because you're going to have to worry about the soul.
And that's why for LNG, I use that classic word macro. Great macro team, best one in the LPL to a degree. Start comparing them and JDG as Hung looks for an engage. Because Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds, and again, there's the setup. We talked more about it. Look at the vision line as well. Scouts in again. He tries to get Sven scared.
Yeah, I think that was maybe one of those things where he's hoping that he's going to panic ult and try to use some sort of cooldown and retreat and say, oh god, I'm about to get swept in. But he obviously wants to hold on to it. He wants to have that ultimate for this fight. C9 are ready though. Here's the TPs.
Scout ulti's out of a panic. He flashes away as well. He's over. This is good for C9 because here comes Chocolate Fudge right into the mix as Zeka starts spinning, but he flashes as well. LNG are panicking, and C9 have them on the rope.
That was such a fast double TP from Fudge and M&S. They get 3 flashes from the top side. They're going to give it up completely. They realize, nope, that went way too bad. We will get smoked if we actually fight this. But again, let's play the map. I'm going to TP the top side. You double TP down a Dragon. Guess what? I'm going to take your tier 1 for free. You get the Dragon, but it is going to be C9 taking that, dropping Herald on bot side. So they want to try to see if they can push for 2, try to get a second charge, but Tarzan lying in wait. Hong is moving out on the map here, so there's 4 from LNG.
Oh, Scout of the Week was used, Sonic Wave connects, but Herald going to be stopped in its path. Tarzan can't follow up any further. The Scout will stay top to open up this turret as well, but C9, again, with great reaction. I think it's something we talked about backstage. It was definitely in terms of blabber, but I think C9's reactions in the Mad game yesterday, even today here against LNG, have been quite adept, been quite significant.
I think that's 2 days in a row for both these teams. They've been really good at responding to what their opponents are doing, shutting down what their opponents are trying to enforce on the map here. LNG, again, they're not overcommitting to that fight. They realize, nope, this started bad. We're out of here. We'll take a tower. You want to fight as a Herald? Nope, we'll take your mid lane tier 1, right? They're always making sure that they're in the right spot. This was great, though, from C9. LNG were trying to move down to actually collapse on Berserker, but Blabber was in the area, Sven was in the area, they were covering that play, and the instant double DP from M&S and Fudge meant that LNG just did not have the angle to fight. There was no way they could actually push through that corridor onto Berserker. They would have got destroyed.
Yeah.
So they immediately bail out. Yes, they have to spend some summoners, but we seen, that hasn't been a problem for them before because they're so patient at just waiting and playing safely until their flash comes back up. And I think we're going to see Scout do the exact same thing. I mean, look at him on top side. He's not even walking up to the wave. You know, he's being very careful, very respectful. He says, that wave's coming to me. I'll wait back here. I'll wait over by Krugs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk up and die.
No, again, not overstepping. It's in Scout's nature. I think from yesterday we saw it. Not a single death on the man as well. Hard to kill, hard to capitalize on. Another matchup that's being focused down there is, of course, Gala versus Berserker, who are just farming away to Kraken picked up. We ain't getting Berserker with the Umbral build, and that's something, you know, we haven't seen as much so far in Swiss. We haven't seen the Umbral build as much popping up, being the Navori quick blades coming through, being a lot more about the on-hit.
Absolutely, and I think if there is going to be, you know, a lot of kind of more frontline, people that you can't necessarily just one-shot at burst down, I do tend to think that the on-hit can work really, really well. So, you know, going in towards that Navori, very standard stuff. Kaisa obviously has been cycling through a lot of different builds, and you do see the full kind of early lethality build for that super early spike. This is, you know, much more of a scaling style of build. There's a lot of different directions you can go, but I tend to think that they are going to need that consistent damage here from Berserker, and that's why he's going for this. We'll give you the update as soon as we know what the pause is. Earlier we had that pause. Obviously it was some FPS issues that you were reporting, Hysterics, of 4C9 on stage. So if it is that again, we will let you know as soon as we do find out. But some big item completions are coming through. You know, Fudge completed that Shojin, so his second item has come through. We saw a second item just come in as well for Blabber. He's got the Knight's Vow now, and over on the other side, Scout has his Nashers on top of that Leandry, so this is not that kind of vegan build that people like to call it, you know, where they're going Banshees and they're going Crown and they're going defensive. Scout is max DPS here, so if they create space for him, yeah, he's going to be eating good. Yeah,
Definitely tonight. I mean, again, already that second item is significant, right? Scout in a good spot. It was that first blood that set him up for success. But I guess the difference between yesterday against Fnatic versus today is Cloud9 have not really slipped up anymore. It was a double TP down bottom side that was really quick to the trigger, but they haven't really misstepped. They made that mistake, and okay, M&S started playing a little bit safer towards mid, not giving more opportunities over to Scout.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Cloud9 has been, you know, playing.
We have to go to the
Killers of the Flower Moon.
casters. Vedius does not like the LCS. Go ahead.
Why does this keep happening?
Poor Vedius. Sorry, buddy. Welcome back to the cast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, League officials have Chrono Break back to 2035.
Oh, they're on the Baron.
And we are back in. Thank you for your patience. C9 come back from the Chrono Break and hit the Baron.
Zek has no TP and they saw him bot. They're
starting with
engaged.
action. Scout with a 3-man and he's dead.
Oh!
C9 come back and all of a sudden, game goes bang.
Oh! Hog is knocked in the pit.
He's flashing out. Well, the Baron held on for now. LNG down a member, down their crucial member.
Before the pause, I need to go back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk up and die.
No, again, not overstepping. It's in Scout's nature. I think from yesterday we saw it. Not a single death on the man as well. Hard to kill, hard to capitalize on. Another matchup that's being focused down there is, of course, Gala versus Berserker, who are just farming away to Kraken picked up. We ain't getting Berserker with the Umbral build, and that's something, you know, we haven't seen as much so far in Swiss. We haven't seen the Umbral build as much popping up, being the Navori quick blades coming through, being a lot more about the on-hit.
Absolutely, and I think if there is going to be, you know, a lot of kind of more frontline, people that you can't necessarily just one-shot at burst down, I do tend to think that the on-hit can work really, really well. So, you know, going in towards that Navori, very standard stuff. Kaisa obviously has been cycling through a lot of different builds, and you do see the full kind of early lethality build for that super early spike. This is, you know, much more of a scaling style of build. There's a lot of different directions you can go, but I tend to think that they are going to need that consistent damage here.
If you're just tuning in, League officials have Chrono Break back to 2035.
Oh, they're on the Baron.
And we are back in. Thank you for your patience. C9 come back from the Chrono Break and hit the Baron.
Zek has no TP and they saw him bot. They're
starting
engaged.
with action. Scout with a 3-man and he's dead.
Oh!
C9 come back and all of a sudden, game goes bang.
Oh! Hog is knocked in the pit.
He's flashing out. Well, the Baron held on for now. LNG down a member, down their crucial member, and stuck in a 4v5 with Zika coming towards mid.
Oh, this is crazy. As Zika is moving up, they're going to try to go for it, but Tarzan, they want to get out. They got
Flashes in onto LNG. The kick away, disengaged, but Baron still going down. LNG will lose out, and Cloud9 have the objective for North America.
Cloud9 decisive out of the pause there.
Woo!
That was madness. You know, we had to go back a couple seconds because from that dead ball state, there was a potential of a fight breaking out, but Cloud9 say, yeah, we're going to make a fight break out. You want to go to dead ball? We're going to make it happen. They engage over the wall onto Scout. The CC chain was great. Berserker in with the killer instinct. And then we're back here. Great blast going there from Blabber. Knocks Hong into the pit, and he has to flash straight out. So it's only up to Tarzan. And Fudge says, no way are we going to 50-50 this with it being such an important game. Tarzan wraps around, but they get the ward over the wall. They flash in on him. He kicks to disengage, but Sven is there. They're keeping him out. He just can't get in. That was beautifully done by Cloud9. Start to finish, the engage on Scout, the peel to deny Tarzan. That was perfect, and that explodes the game all of a sudden from what had felt like dead even, back and forth the whole time. We get action, and we get a clear advantage, and now Cloud9 potentially can move towards this next dragon as well. They can try to clear some turrets off the map. They can try to grab this second dragon. Let's see what they can get done.
After waiting so long, I feel like I'm going to need one of these Red Bull Baron power play. 1,500 for C9 to kick us off. And ladies and gentlemen, what a power move coming back into the game to experience that. Now, with an almost 2K gold lead, Zell is eluding 30 seconds till the dragon. Let's take stock of the game that we've come back into all of a sudden with 2 item AD carries, 2 item mid laners crucially. Scout with the TP to come in as they try and pick off Tarzan. He sonic waves in, looking for the kick back. Only finds Blabber, but not going too far until Scout boops him further. Flash away from Blabber as LNG try to converge around the turret. Blabber down the summoner, but a couple of big ultis now used for LNG before Drake.
Yeah, this is problematic though for Blabber because the dragon is spawning and he can't actually base. He has no time to do so. So we'll see. Can Cloud9 still get in there? He does have that Baron recall. Will they try to actually buy time? He's going to try to take the red and use that to heal up. They want to get that, but Gala is just starting the dragon. They're just trying to try force right now.
Out of the week, out of range. They're trying to get them into the pit. Blabber not going to be eluded in. LNG will move to Soul Point. Well, C9 with their Baron are going to open up mid.
Yeah, C9, you know, really getting punished pretty heavily there. They wanted to go for this little chip play on Tarzan, but the amount of displacement in this team is massive. What is Hong doing?
Hong, he's just jumping in.
He just killed himself.
He bursted out. Hong, okay, brother. How badly did he want to die as C9 get one off the back end?
The 6th member of Cloud9 goes in and gives him a freebie, apparently. That was bizarre. Maybe there was some sort of a miscommunication between him and the rest of the team, but that looked weird.
As they're trying to dive, Scout flashes away. Hang on, C9 to unleash. Gala free hitting for the time being, but not too much damage. Just the flashing from Tarzan to kick. Zika gets a 3-man. C9 running up the turret in control, but LNG can never be discounted. From a deficit, they fire again and again.
They take everyone down. Berserker gets out, but it's in the 45. They find the angle coming from both sides. Tarzan from one side with a beautiful kick. The alley-oop for Zika. And he gets so much here. Devastating for Cloud9. They're pushing in. They're trying to look for these aggressive plays. Again, I'm just not sure what that was. He gives over the freebie in. They're trying to look for these aggressive plays. Again, I'm just not sure what that was. He gives over the freebie, but it ends up not even mattering. You can see Fudge on the bottom of the screen was pushing them away. Blabber and Sven trying to look for this dive, but then watch Tarzan and Zika coming from both sides. Flash kick. The scatter was there in time, but it just didn't matter as the flash in from Zika. 3-man counter strike. That's the Jax you know and love from the LPL.
The rookie top laner, underestimated, but so deserving of praise. His Jax needs to be banned away, and for many reasons, they've left it open as Berserker, also looking at part of the replay, got absolutely blasted with the shutdown going over to Gala.
That's brutal, and he loses both summoners off that as well. And now that means Cloud9, you know, they got the Baron. It amounted to nothing at all. They didn't get the dragon with the Baron. They're now up against Soul, and Berserker just died and lost both summoners, so he won't have those summoners for this pivotal fight, for what could potentially be the fight that decides the game. You know, in a matter of minutes, this game has just gone back and forth so incredibly quickly. It went into the favor of Cloud9. They get the Baron. You think, okay, from here, you take the second dragon, you clear some towers off the map, you create a big advantage, you stave off Soul, you're in a great spot. But all of a sudden, LNG get dragon. They win the fight around mid. Berserker dies and loses sums, and now you're thinking, Cloud9, you're probably in a terrible spot for this next fight.
Scout threatening again. But that Baron power play by the end, it had to have been towards the negative mark.
It's got to be negative, for sure. And the fact that it's now 3 dragons for LNG, the fact that Blabber, you know, him and Sven were kind of looking for this pokey play onto Tarzan, you know, previous to that, and he ended up having to flash out. He gets pushed out, so they couldn't challenge the dragon. They lose the team fight in that 5v4. It's just beautiful flank from Tarzan and Zika at the same time, perfectly executed on that. You can never underestimate this team. LNG is just so good in these decisive moments. And now you're looking at the item completions. It's 3 items in for Gala. He's got the BT. That Zonia's is now coming for Scout. MNS is so far from his 3rd item. Berserker is closing in on his. But you're going to have to take this soul fight or the game could be over. And at the same time, you know, Baron's going to be up before that. There's possibilities of trying to trade Baron for that dragon. You know, Cloud9, they have to fight it. LNG doesn't care. They could give up a dragon if they can get a Baron from it or get something else from it, where Cloud9 has no options. They basically are forced to. So they may actually try to preempt this by just starting up a Baron again. I think they want to get the TP off Zika. I think there's potential for them to just start this on spawn and try to force the Jacks to respond.
I mean, again, for LNG, as they walk towards it, trying to get that TP, but might lose the base in the process. Zika is unrelenting. 2-item Jacks as well, by the way. So turret damage going to be massive. Minions going to shred. And LNG have just grasped back the river somehow with 4 members.
Yep. Fudge had the base to answer, so Cloud9 were confident to actually take that 4v4. You know, Gall is pushing up mid. They get the tier 2 on bot. Cloud9 starting to really feel the heat here. The Baron is now live. LNG reclaims the vision around it. They are in their comfort zone now. They don't need to do anything except just wait for this Infernal, make sure that they have the setup for that Infernal. For Cloud9, there's a lot of pressure on them now. They know that Sven is in this area, and if he oversteps, could be in danger.
Wonder if they can do anything with the information that Hung backed away. Looks like the timing's just not there, but Ward over the wall to spot them out as Sonic Wave connects, but again, just trying to threaten out C9.
So many big purchases have now come through. Zonia's done for Zika. Zonia's done for Scout. You can see now the 3rd item done for Blabber as well. He grabs the Abyssal. We have a 3rd item in for Fudge there with the Black Lever. So everyone's seeming to finish up those 3rd items. We'll see. Berserker has no time to go back, so he just bought a stopwatch, and so did MS. Here comes the TP. They're going to look for the deep flank.
It's a big one as well. Could be game-changing from Fudge. The factor there, but he needs to get in because Gala's jumping in on the sidelines. Berserker running through. The king of 80 carries in North America. Might take one down in China. Fudge helps out. Big shutdown. LNG lose a man, but trade one. And now Fudge targeted and Tarzan to finish the kill. Zika flashes, and the rookie from the LPL should not be given Jacks ever again. Scout on the Azir follows that same train of thought. At C9, it looked so good until it wasn't.
Cloud9 trying to go for the aggressive play here, but a little bit disjointed. Fudge comes on this super long flanking angle. They do get in the back line and take down Gala, but it took them way too long to kill Gala here. Fudge is coming, so they look for the engage over onto Blabber, but look at this coming over on the other side. They apply the plasma into the back line, get Berserker and Sven, but Gala just lives so long. It takes so much time to actually kill him off, and look at MNS, he's just not a part of the fight. MNS was so far away. There's so much movement with both the Kaisa and the Rakan. They can follow up on this. They can get in there on the back line, but Fudge was never really a part of the fight. MNS was never really a part of the fight, and that's the problem here. LNG just played it out so well. They kite back towards that top side. Now they have gotten the soul, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for this one. Cloud9 are still going to fight on, but within the matter of a couple minutes, it went from looking like Cloud9 had a real shot in this one to LNG just out-executing in back-to-back team fights, showcasing their prowess in these pivotal moments, now claiming the soul, now having a 5,000 lead, and they have all the cards.
You can't make a mistake against LNG. It's been said many times throughout the LPL year, but LNG specifically in those finals against JDG capitalized well. Here against Cloud9, the same again. The same against Fnatic yesterday in their early game. That's what makes LNG so dangerous. The Scout has to flash away, at least Blabber forcing out with the Glacial Prison, but the rest of LNG using the Baron buff and this hard push that's going to come from Gala to open up the base. Zika jumping in. I mean, Fudge has experience, but Zika has the LPL.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a lot of these champions now on Cloud9 have been well and truly outscaled. We've got level 18 Jax, working towards his 4th item. We got Scout working towards his death cap. He's level 17. MNS is 2 levels down, doesn't even have his 3rd item. He's so far behind. Berserker as well, way behind the curve here. Cloud9 just don't really have the damage, not even to mention the soul.
They're trying so hard to kill Zika. He just thinking about jumping back in. Makes it so hard again as he ends up doing exactly that.
Yeah, they just can't hurt him. I mean, you basically need Berserker there to kill anyone at this point.
And then what do you lose because of it?
Exactly, you lose everything.
Well, Infernal Soul to boot as well. He jumps up at Berserker. That might be the last mistake you make here in this game. LNG moments away from being the first team to 2-0 here in the Swiss stage. To be on match point, as it were, to go to the best of threes. Sticker has teleport. He faces away, trying to engage onto LNG as Sven had a great early game, but no longer onto Gala. Berserker at least trying his heart out as he buys some time. Tarzan with no Sonic Wave, but Scout still finds him on the back end, while C9 to pick apart the pieces eventually gets Sticker. But what is the cost? What is the charge? LNG still here strong as into the base. They're not stopping. They don't care. Ulti whiff. Scout dodges away. Splaver running for his life. It's a long haul here as Cloud9 look to keep them from thwarting their chances to move to safety. C9 getting bopped away though by Scout Azir, who gets 7 kills this time around. 18 kills in total in 2 days. Our MVP of the split continues to perform, and LNG move to match point.
LNG coming out on top, 2-0. They'll move into the best of threes. As you said, they could be one of those first teams to advance from the Swiss stage. A really competitive back and forth game here. Cloud9 really looked good for a lot of it. Really did push LNG. Taking that early Baron from there, things were looking good, but I'm sure they really wish they could have everything after that back, because LNG in the 4v5.
Okay, I'm gonna...
clever fox is never caught.
This honestly isn't a great game for it. Fuck it. We ride. Uh-oh. This guy's level 7. Dang. 293. Chant Mastery. Okay. You think they're together?
Alongside some of the best, you know. So try to keep up.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
A body nourished, a soul fed.
Minions have spawned.
I'll have them chasing their tails.
We go Static Shiv into Triforce, or Static Shiv into Nashers into Triforce. Let me just go.
This place reminds me of home.
Probably should go.
The world is mine to discover.
Return.
Let's rush. The hunter and the hunted. remember this moment. Delicious.
Get this game.
Mortal lives are so fleeting. I carry the legacy of the Basani. Seasons change. Refreshing. Live with no regrets.
First love.
This never ends.
Ally has been slain.
Don't be afraid. My true nature.
Calculating.
I lived and live an eternity. Come here often. Remember.
Just don't get hit by a Z.
I still remember his laugh.
What is that? He's destroying me in CS. 4 or 5 minutes. What am I doing?
I'm living my best life. I hear the wind singing. Light on my feet. Oh, don't go.
This guy's mean.
So many memories stir within.
I knew I was gonna miss that. Low more.
Like this forest, I am wild. So much I want to see for myself.
An ally has been slain. Ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I should have left home years ago. Come closer. Everything's more fun together. Don't you think? wander, but I'm not lost. There's beauty in even the smallest moments. I won't forget what it means to steal life.
I remember you.
Every animal hungers for something. Just for you. Nature moves too far. How's it?
See the maiden. She comes with you.
An ally has been slain.
Delicious. A body nourished, a soul fed. Don't worry, we'll be back.
Did he not?
Come here often.
Again.
I'll have them chasing my tails. There you are.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Quick as a fox.
Die with me, brothers, and be free.
Getting it. That would be
It took me too long to realize how beautiful life can be. I am the wild. Refreshing. Run wild. Self-hate, far from it.
Welcome back. You won't be.
I have no ulti. Gotta be careful.
Feel this.
An ally has been slain.
What is that, bro? Oh my god.
The world is mine to discover. Every fun together. Light on.
So he goes Tiamat straight into Hullbreaker.
The Vasani left so much behind. I will find it all. remember this moment. Mortal lives are so fleeting. I carry the legacy of the Baton. Quick as a fox. Let's run. Here I As the seasons change, so do I. Live with no regrets.
Being I had 9 worlds.
Just for you. I'm famished. Oh, don't go. I lived and live in eternity. Come closer.
Shut down.
I still remember. Can't outrun a fox.
Yeah, not much of it against except for dodging spells.
I'm living my best life. I hear the wind singing. Memories stir within me.
An ally has been slain.
Like this forest, I am wild.
Enemy killing spree.
By the book. I would never let you touch. What a rush! Quick as a I love myself for who I was, who I am, and who I to become. Let's run. So much I want to see for myself. Feel this.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I should
Your
have
team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
light on my feet. I wander, but I'm not lost. There's beauty in even the smallest moments. I won't forget what it means to steal a life. Breathtaking. Quick as a fire. One, or well.
Facts.
Every animal hungers for something. Nature here is too quiet. Light on my feet. If I look back now, it's only to see how far I've come.
An ally has been slain.
Quick as a fox.
Enemy killing spree.
Way overstayed.
A body nourished, a soul fed.
This is bad.
I cast you out!
Let's run. Come here often. Don't worry. No. of my... I'll have them chasing their tails.
What's your torment?
This place reminds me of home. The world is
An
mine to
ally
discover.
has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
There you are.
Killing spree.
Whose sights?
Refill my mana.
Remember this moment. Quick as a fox. Mortal lives are so fleeting. I carry the legacy of the Vasani. Everything's... Don't you think? Let's run.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage.
I go after what I deserve.
Okay, I can push one wave mid.
Shield it from yourself. Light on my feet. As the seasons change, so do I.
Nice, Garen's gonna catch it. It's actually...
Don't worry. We'll be back soon enough. The trail the Vasani left. I'll follow it where it takes me, and then forge my own path.
So what's the deal with no dragon, I guess? I guess not.
Live with no regrets. I live and live in eternity.
Your team has destroyed a
See new sights with me? Refreshing.
turret has been destroyed. Dominating.
I still remain. How sweet. I'm living my best life.
Okay, I have it. Just be greedy.
Fun together, don't you think?
And I have flash.
Just for you. Quick as a fox. Don't worry. We'll be back soon enough.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Hidden away for so long. Nice to finally feel the sun. I hear the wind singing.
Has been slain.
So many memories stir within me. Delicious.
Double kill. Ace.
Okay.
Unstoppable.
Unleashed, but in control. There you are. Come to see new sights with me.
Let's go DK. What's that? Here we go. I have no idea what to do with that at this point. I did not think I would get this one. I honestly have no idea what to do. This is fucked.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Like this forest. It's wild. Humans change over days. Nature over centuries.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Oh, don't worry. Here I come. Who are you?
Open and...
I'm going crazy. Alright, I have TP. I hadn't spent fucking 8 years on this.
I'll remember that, you know. You saw me for all that I am. I'll never forget. So much I want to see for myself.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Everything's more fun together, don't you think? Quick as a fox. I'm wandering, but I'm not lost. Let's run.
Did these guys have your fucking index? These guys doing goddamn wrong. Nice.
Has been destroyed.
Light on my feet. Feel it. Don't worry. Be back soon enough. I won't forget what it means to feel alive. Quick as a fox.
Your turret has been destroyed.
But I have unlimited lives. Every animal hungers for something. Light on my feet. Nature here is too quiet.
An enemy has been slain.
A body
Double
nourished.
kill.
Quick as a fox.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
chasing their tails. Let's run.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Victory!
Nah, 61k damage. Alright. I gotta use the bathroom. Comes to boy grill. The bot lane knows. I'll go for Kali now. Where's my she's bottoms up. Let me top, please.
I'm on to you.
Advantage.
walls are made to be broken. Like buildings. Or people.
Emerald mid, by the way. What the heck? Hold up, I gotta check this out. What's the deal here?
You think I'm crazy? You should see her.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I'm trying to care. I just can't.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
He's going for that thing. Nice. Big range strats. Trust.
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Minions have spawned.
Proxy first wave. It's the tech, bro.
Executed.
What? You didn't even do it right. Does he TP in now? Don't trust.
Jinx? Stands for Jinx. Durr.
And then he doesn't even TP, he just walks back.
Hold up. I'm gonna do something really cool. Wait. kidding, that won't help.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
No one else. Shot otherwise.
Stop bothering. I need a mag.
An ally has been slain.
That was perhaps not the wisest thing.
Ally has been slain.
Yeah, that was actually a terrible base.
Where was I?
They were
Right.
An enemy has been slain.
Such a loser. Always ready to cry. Who even thinks once about blowing stuff up?
I feel like this is a good time to start. I guess not.
I accidentally did that on purpose.
An ally has been slain.
I'm wearing one. You think I'm crazy?
Run away.
You should see my sister.
Yo.
I'm trying to care. I just can't.
So nice and his ass.
if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not. Whatever, let's just start shooting.
An ally has been slain.
Let's just play.
Shut down.
What if I had a gun that shot other guns?
An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain.
I'll be right back. No one dies screaming without me. Now where was I? Right. She's such a loser. Always ready to cry.
Enemy rampage.
I don't even think once about blowing stuff up. I'm wearing lots of belts. me if I'm listening.
So dumb. Pretty sick dodge on the zone, I'm gonna say. I didn't even mean to.
Seriously, screaming helps not. Whatever. Start shooting. Yourself. I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns.
Dude. Bro, what are you doing? Why would you now?
Let's
An
just...
enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Watch this! All part of the plan I just made up. Right, you can have it.
An ally has been slain.
Necessary.
She's such a loser. Always ready to cry.
Team, hello. I have to do everything. It's on.
I don't even think one
Where's the thing?
waste a bullet.
An ally has been slain.
What's the worst of
Has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Has destroyed a turret.
Jinx? Stands for Jinx.
You know. Just trust me.
Hold on. I'm about to say something really.
Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Some of these faces I know well.
Whatever. Let's just start shooting.
Get blue. This guy.
I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns.
has been slain.
30 seconds on Dragon. Sion's getting that
What if
wave.
I had a gun that shot other guns? I'll be right. Die screaming without me. All right, we can have. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. I'm wearing lots
Shut down. Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
These isles are
I'm gonna give Sion the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just like practicing the hint strategy or something. He's
You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister. I'm trying to care.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Come on. What's the worst that could happen? Best intentions.
See, that's why I like Ezreal. Because you can do stuff like that. Like Jinx, you gotta just like, I don't know.
more cages.
Are you the hunter or the prey?
Zonopanth, Kog'Maw, Lissandra, Cho'Gath. Should I go Rageblade? I guess we'll decide. We go Nashor's first, and then we'll see from there.
Prepare yourself for the greatest battle of your life.
These creatures seek the living. Even here.
To the victor go the spoils.
Well, time to be mean, Lilia. Did it work?
This. Learn from it. I need to gather my strength.
Minions have spawned.
This place is beautiful. I'm going to say so. That'll leave a mark.
I'm just going to go fight for you.
Surviving means monsters are everywhere. I will know the difference.
But the human snorts.
Voidspawn offer 1,000 ways to die, and one way to live. Become. What fun! And 4. It's fight or flight. Only now I do not run. Stay alert. Stay alert. I like it. I just want to stay. Carry should lift us up, not weigh us down. Memories, love, and hope are the light
Yeah. Shut down.
6.
No, I'm insane. This is awesome. I love this.
Time to be mean, Billy.
Stay for the fruit.
No one saw that. No one saw that.
Get up. Stand firm. void is not power. It is power. It's a good day for a hunt. I came back so the others did not. This game lives on me and hunts with
has been slain.
Time to be mean, Lilia. Did it work?
Hold out ground. Attack them
Time
in
to be
there.
mean, Lilia. Did it work?
You must be lost. How I missed them. Found it. Some
Smile seed.
This skin is fashioned for survival and home. This skin lives on me and hunts me.
An enemy has been slain.
Exploit their mistakes. This suit hunts in the man I choose.
Has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I can make a difference here. Team. That was That's just the start. I returned stronger than I left.
Time to be mean, Lilia.
Forgiveness is hard, but so very worth it. They can run, but they can't. Avoid rule number 1. Don't die.
Has been destroyed.
moving target lives longer. This world is changing.
An enemy has been slain.
The yoke of fear. Hunters must remember and walk the survival is an instinct we all have.
Oh my god.
16.
That was awesome.
I will meet. This is not war.
What the heck?
Feed the beast.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
This. Learn from it. 19. This place is beautiful. I'm going. Survival easy.
too. Guess the Rammus. We would have been really hard. Did the most damage. Bane. God damn it. That's whack. I was doing crazy. How much did the Dark Knight? Love a good ARAM sesh.
We will kill your enemies. That will be fun.
Dang. Okay, if... Dude, Makai Volibear is fucking huge. Huge value.
I guard this place, lest the Watchers return.
Ravage.
Welcome to the house.
Need eyes on him.
For you to turn back.
Ravage.
Minions have spawned.
I hear soft things. Time ticks away. The ball is impatient. This is very exciting. Soft things. Motivating. Why are they running? Very exciting. ball is in This is a fun game. Time Ravage, we go. Motivating. This is very exciting. Protect. This is a fun game. We go. patient. I hear soft things. This is very exciting. Why are they running? We go. Time just ticks away.
The enemy inhibitor is resetting.
So lame, bro.
The enemy has been slain.
This is very exciting.
Shut down.
ball is impatient. Motivating. Yes, I am a weapon.
I'm so sad, dude. Can't do anything.
Shut down.